So hi, good afternoon everyone. I want to believe you can hear me. Um, how are they going? This is 1 o'clock. I want to lose my hair, but while I lose my hair, I want to do a quick movie review. Hope our day is going on well. We are fine and everything is going on well. Mhm. Hi, if you're coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. So the purpose of this life is a movie review and also I want us to grow together. So if you are new here, do well to join, subscribe, like, comment. Anyone you're seeing joining, just hail the person and subscribe to their channel. Trying to get a perfect position. Okay, I think this works. Yes, this works. So welcome, welcome. So today, first of all, I'm taking down this my micro twist. I've had it for 8 weeks. This week made it exactly 8 weeks. Yeah, so I'm happy. I've tried 8 weeks. That's 2 months. I've done very well, if I'm not mistaken. So let's close it together. So today's movie is called "He Ends with Us." Just give me a moment. I want to. Sorry. I saw this movie over one of the weekends, and it's been occurring to me to make a review on it because I want to link it to mental health, how to manage mental well-being for healthy living and healthy interaction with people, right? So just give me a moment. I think I put some things down that I wanted to talk about after I saw the movie. So welcome back to my channel. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is Chinonso. I'm a mom of two. I'm just vlogging and documenting every opportunity I get about motherhood experience and everything around mental health. Yeah, so welcome and please grab a seat and please do well to subscribe, do well to like, and most importantly, share these videos. There are people that need such videos out there. It's about an encouragement to them. So please, please, please do well to share. I hope everyone is hearing me. I don't know if my mic is working. It should be. I can adjust it. This is might be better, I guess. So please, please, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. So let's get right to the aim of this video today, which is reviewing the movie called "He Ends with Us." And that movie, I am going to title this life breaking the circle, healing from generational abuse and emotional mental well-being. So that's what I'm going to title it. So the movie speaks about a lady that was raised in an abusive home. Her dad loved her. Nothing took away her dad's love from her, but the dad would always beat the mom. And regardless of what the situation was, the mom stayed back. So she didn't understand why the mom stayed back. So when she grew up, she met a man. She met a guy. Okay, before then, when they were teenagers, she had this young guy when they were teenagers that she loved or they loved each other. But because the dad caught them one day, the dad almost beat the guy to death and he ended the relationship. The guy left the city and she was heartbroken. That's how they parted. So it wasn't a case of they broke up because they had any quarrel. It was the dad that caused the breakup. So I don't think she fully healed from that breakup. It made her she wasn't into any relationship at all. But finally she was in a new city and she met this guy, a surgeon. Now this guy on his own path doesn't believe in love according to him. Say he doesn't believe in love. um So when he met the girl was actually playing hard to get and all of that. So somehow he fell in love with her and they got married. And The first incident that happened was what's the exact first? Anyway, she had three incidents. The first one was okay. I think they were being all romantic and mushy in the kitchen, and then he mistakenly burnt himself with the oven, and the girl was just trying to help him, and he hit her on her head, sorry, and injured her. Then the guy apologized. Oh, it was an accident. The girl didn't see it as the girl saw it as an accident because the guy also told her it was an accident. So she let it slide. She felt, oh, it was an accident, and that passed. But they went to a restaurant, and when they got to that restaurant, it happened that the owner of the restaurant was her ex. So his name is Atlas in the movie. So we'll call him Atlas, the ex. That's his name, or that was his name in the movie. So Atlas saw the scar on her head and he was in panic because he was worried that maybe the guy was beating her, knowing the background where she grew up in. So he was worried that the guy was beating her and she was still in the relationship. So he panicked a bit. Um, he went to the restroom, she followed him, and the ex was asking her to leave the guy. And she was like, no, that was an accident. It wasn't anything serious. So while they were still having that conversation, the the husband came in and then saw the guy talking and like, okay, so you're that ex. So they both started fighting and all of that. It was very embarrassing. So after that scene, there was a second incident when they were having an argument, and the lady, okay, after that incident, the husband, I'm very sorry, I'm very bad at telling people about movies, but people will bear with me so I can convey my message today. So the guy, the husband told her after that incident of the fight at the restaurant not to ever speak to the ex again. She said okay, but somehow she spoke to the ex again. So the husband found the ex's card in her phone pouch, and they had an argument. So while she was still trying to explain, he pushed her down the stairs. And when she woke up, she convinced him that it was an accident. She too accepted that it was an accident. Follow me, we are getting somewhere in this movie. Then again, the third incident was when they nominated the guy as um the third, sorry, hello Med. What did this actually put in between? If you can hear me, Med said put it in between so that it can sleep. So that it sleeps. What sleeps, please? I don't get that. Anyway, welcome to the life. So, as I was saying, the third incident was when he saw that they listed the guy as a top performing business, and he wrote something about the girl, that's his ex, being his inspiration. About that's the ex now, he listed him as a top business, and he wrote something about the girl being his source of inspiration and all of that. So the husband got angry again, and this time he was physically abusing her. He was trying to bite her, sure he beat herself. Like he injured her with his teeth on close around her chest. So that was when she realized that she has been her mother all this while. All this while she has been making excuses for him. The same thing that the mom did, staying with the father, regardless of how abusive the relationship was for her. That was the exact same thing she was doing. So she ran away from her husband's house and then went to the ex place and then cried, confiding in the ex. They didn't do anything, they're just, they're genuine friends. So confiding in the ex. So why am I telling this story? Okay, let me just finish the movie, then I'll relate it to the mental health part. Please don't wake up baby. Um anyway, so back to the story. I'm sorry for the pause. I didn't want my baby to wake up. He's sleeping just here. So after confiding the ex, she found out she was pregnant, and then it was so hard for her. She kept on thinking, how do I continue this cycle of abuse again? How do I continue with this abuse and all of that? So she just told herself that no, I need to end this with me and my husband. I don't want it to move on to this child, because what morals am I going to live for this child when the child grows? So she had to tell the husband. She was not living in the house, and the husband's sister genuinely told her that she shouldn't go back to the brother, that she didn't know that the brother had so much anger built in. It is the backstory to the boy's anger issues. He shot his younger brother when he was 6 years old. When they were playing, they didn't know it was a real gun, they thought it was a toy gun, so they're using it to play, and he mistakenly shot his brother. So since after he lost his brother, he scarred him for life. He locked himself up. He built a wall around himself. He didn't want to love anybody. That's why he said he didn't believe in love. He didn't heal from that trauma. It was a big trauma, and unknowing to the family, he was suffering from that. They would have even taken him for therapy or something, to heal him from that trauma, but they didn't know. And then this is what it came out to be later on. So she just told the husband that she loves him more, but this cycle of abuse needs to end with them, that he should go and get help, and go for therapy and get help and get better. But regardless, that he can't continue the relationship, that doesn't take away the place of his place in their daughter's life. But they she needs to get help. He too also needs to get help for the good of their daughter. So that was how the movie ended. So now, where the mental health story comes in, it's you know it's very important that we first of all recognize what we are struggling with. I say kudos to her for taking that bold step to say no. This is what my mother endured. I don't want to be like my mother. I don't want to end up like my mother. I don't want to end up like my mother. So for that reason, I'm going to I'm going to get help. I'm going to do better. My baby is awake, so I might end this life in no time. But let me just round off what I'm trying to say. So what I'm trying to say is that it's very important that we know the kind of environment we want to raise our kids. When we know that we probably had some form of experience in growing up, we had some form of traumatic experience. It's important that we seek for help. We don't just say, okay, we will heal from it somehow, and we just sweep it under the carpet. It's so wrong, because we don't know how those things are going to impact our kids and the next generation. So I say kudos to that girl for taking the bold step to say, yes, I love this guy. He's willing to get help, but is this a safe environment to raise a child? No, it's not. So she gave herself that advice and walked away from it on time. So it was very important that she walked away from that that condition or that situation or that environment on time to avoid it escalating into something else. Also, when it comes to generational abuse, it's a pattern. It doesn't it doesn't just disappear. It started with her mom, then it happened to her. So if she had allowed it, it would have continued with her daughter. So it's a generational thing. It cannot just disappear overnight. So if you don't put conscious effort into stopping it or limiting it with the previous generation, it will continue regardless of how much we think we know well or we are willing to do better. Also, when it comes to generational pattern, it's important that we identify the signs that triggers it. For her, when that first incident happened, when he hit her, she saw the images of when her dad would beat her mom, but she just felt it was just a delusion, it was just in her head. She didn't take note that, okay, this thing that this guy did is a trigger, and at that first point she should have stopped it, but she was so in love that her mind was not even going there. So and then there's a behavioral pattern, and that behavioral pattern was the guy convincing her husband, always convincing her, oh no, it was an accident. I love you. I won't hurt you. It won't happen again. It was an accident. It was a pattern because it was the same thing that happened. It was simply she saw her dad do to her mom every time. So we should know that there's an emotional trigger, there's a behavioral pattern which happens, and we are supposed to look out for these things. We're not just supposed to wait and say, oh no, it will disappear. You need help. Call a spade is spade. You need help and you should get help. So now when it comes to, if you want to break that cycle of abuse, it's not easy. It's really not easy. But is this something that must be done? Yes. So I want to outline 4 basic steps that we can use. I have them written down here on my laptop. That's why you see me looking at my laptop. The first one will be seek for professional help. Go for therapy. Go for therapy. There's something called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. That is what you need, because it's not a minor thing that you are going through. You need to see a professional to heal from whatever trauma it is, and give that your inner child rest, and give Mwah. Give your new self or your future self a better opportunity at enjoying things and making the best decision for yourself. The next one is to build a support network. In this girl's case, her support network was her mom and the husband's sister. Strangely, when the husband's sister heard of what happened, she was really disappointed in the brother and she begged the sister-in-law, don't go back to that marriage, because if you go back to that marriage, I will be very mad at you. I love my brother, yes, but I love you equally. So that was a very good advice, and that is a very good support system that she had there. If not that the sister-in-law encouraged her to leave, I'm sure she would have said, okay, let me just go back. Since he's getting help already, he will change. No, let him heal. You cannot heal anybody. Let them heal on their own, regardless of what feelings you have for that person. There is the practice of self-care. Make time for activities that nurture your mind and your body. Whether it's a walk in the nature, meditation, simply setting aside moments for your quiet reflection. Nobody can tell each other the truth except the truth you look at the mirror and tell yourself. That is the best truth you can tell yourself, or that is the best advice anybody can give you. Look in the mirror, analyze your situation, and tell yourself the truth about that situation. Set healthy boundaries. Let There should be boundary even between couples. There should be boundary. There should be boundary that your partner shouldn't cross. There should be boundary that friends, family shouldn't cross, because they might be a trigger to you. So that's where you need to learn how to say no and create limits in your relationship. It may be difficult at first, but by setting boundaries, it is essential for your emotional safety. Another one is educating yourself. When you understand the dynamics of abuse, it will empower you to make informed decision. It's when you don't understand those dynamics, when you don't educate yourself to know that this is what the signs are, or this is what the symptoms are like. That's when it happens, you won't be able to recognize it. But when you educate yourself and with the signs and symptoms, then when it begins to happen, you're able to say, okay, this is what it looks like. It's beginning to look like an emotional abuse. It's beginning to look like a physical abuse. It's beginning to look like what I don't want for my life. That is where that boundary that you set earlier helps you to know what to cut out, to know what to allow to continue. Healing. I want to remind you that healing is a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It cannot disappear overnight. So, and part of that journey is focusing on your mental well being. This is what it means. It means mindfulness or mindful practice. Try meditation, try journaling, deep breathing exercises. This helps you manage stress and anxiety. So when you are reflecting, when you have some moments, even if it's 10 minutes, to have your own quiet time of mindful meditation, it helps a whole lot. It goes a long way. There's self-compassion. Be kind, be gentle to yourself. You didn't do anything. It wasn't your fault that I've been talking and my mic has been down. I'm sorry. It wasn't your fault that you were raised in whatever situation you were raised. So be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself. Understand that these setbacks are part of the process. There are times when, bless you, madam. There are times when, in the process of that healing, you might see yourself relapsing. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's part of the process of healing. It doesn't just happen. Every little step you take. Take, take. There you go. Every little step you take is one step away from your healing. So be gentle. Also, celebrate your progress. Today, you were able to set this boundary with A. Yes, celebrate. Look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, I finally am able to set this boundary with so and so person or with so and so thing. So, yes, celebrate yourself for that. If you do recognize your efforts, recognize your progress. Healing is not straight. It can come in zigzag form, it can come upside down. As long as you're moving, as long as you're not in that same place where you started, as long as you're not seeing yourself constantly going back to that thing you said you don't want to do, it's a process. You are moving, right? So every day you choose to move forward is an accomplishment. So do not be hard on yourself. Any day that you choose to move forward, clap for yourself, look in the mirror, celebrate yourself, take yourself out on a lunch, do something that makes you really, really happy. Breaking the cycle of generational abuse is one of the bravest things you can do. Like I said from the beginning, it's not an easy journey. So it's one of the bravest things you can do. Remember the girl in the movie, she was brave enough. It took her time to come to that conclusion. It took her several times of crying, several times of meditating, thinking, do I really want this for my child? No, I don't want this for my child. So I need to do better. So it took her that time, that build up to say, no, I have to walk away from this thing because it will not favor my child and it will not favor me in the long run. Because I do not want to not see a child that comes back to tell me, oh, mommy, he beats me. Oh, mommy, he does that. It will also be a trigger for you. So breaking the cycle of generational abuse is one of the bravest things you can do. I'm saying it again so that you will understand that it's not an easy thing. By recognizing the signs, seeking for help, and setting boundaries, and also focusing on your mental health, you can create a healthier, more fulfilling future for yourself, for those that love you, and those around. So you are not only doing it for yourself, but for those that you love and those that love you. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I don't know how many people are still on the live. I have just two people watching, but however, I'm happy I was able to share this with you. I will go back now to losing my hair since my Oga has said I should stop. I'll go back now to losing my hair and thank you. Please do well to subscribe. Do well to share. When I say you should share, it's not because I just want my video to go viral. No, because I have spoken to somebody today. I believe I have addressed somebody's emotions, someone's struggle today. So you sharing this video, it's a way of reaching out to that person and telling the person you are not alone, you are seen, your struggles are valid, and you will get better with the right effort and the right community and the right support. So please and please do well to share to somebody. Like, leave a kind comment. I truly appreciate all the support I've been getting here. It's been 2 weeks. Today should be this should be my third week. But however, I think it's been 2 weeks since I started YouTube, and in all honesty, I'm happy I started. And sometimes I ask myself, why have I not started since? Because the journey here has been beautiful. I am enjoying every step that I've been taking here. And now this is me giving myself grace. Mwah. Yeah, so thank you. Let me go back to losing my hair so I don't look all ras. Do have a great day. This is 20 minutes past when we started. So, yes, have a lovely day. Bye. I'll catch you in my next live.